Hello everybody, welcome back. So I'm going to focus now just on Bitcoin. There's a few things I want to talk to you about on Bitcoin, and there's a few things I'm now a little concerned over actually. So we'll start on the daily chart and we'll see what the daily chart looks like. Okay, so here we are on the daily chart. On the weekly chart actually, we'll go to the daily. So the daily chart has first of all shown to us just as of today that we've broken beneath the 10 moving average. So that's where we've been for almost the last week, as a bit of a support area. We've broken down beneath that. Now that doesn't mean much in itself. What it does mean is that I would expect us to come back down to test this blue box territory, which would be the 8,000 and below, and perhaps maybe 7,800. It could go lower than that before it bounce back up, and it will bounce back up from there. It's not going to completely collapse from there. I wouldn't have expected. I don't expect that, not yet. What I see this is very much like when the second time we came down to the $10,000 areas. The first time we came down it was all messy. The second time we came down it was a little bit more interesting. So we wicked into it a few times, we found bounces, but we were rejected from this 200 EMA, and we stayed beneath it. And we came back down with candle body close, a bit beneath it, and we rocketed back up above the 200 EMA. Found a little bit of support on it, wicked back into it, broke down eventually. We had a few fake outs with people looking to short this and getting faked out quite a lot. But then when it finally did get back beneath that 200 EMA, which is this candle, it was pretty much all over with, done and dusted, and finished with. And we have this cross here, which is something that I pinpointed back there on my channel. We all profited. We made more money than we can speak English on this cross here, because what this means is a continuation of a downwards trend, and we were all very lucky to have caught that continuation. So what's going on now? What does the chart tell us now? And Bitcoin's good at telling us things on charts. It's not predictable, but it's way more predictable than any cryptocurrency out there. The charts read very well most of the time, and that's all I've got to say about it really. Like I say, I'm not blowing my own trumpet. Anyone could do this. You've just got to look at the chart really. So what's going on now is we're doing the same thing we did more or less with the when we came down to the $10,000 area. Wicked into it, bounced back up, stayed beneath the 200 EMA, came back down beneath it, bounced up beneath the 200 EMA, so it's weaker than it was on the $10,000 area. It's definitely weaker. We had our first fake out area up here, massive wick, back down beneath the 200 EMA, and we're back down beneath it again here, breaking for the first time in the last week this support area of the 10 simple. So we're going to come down to test this, and that's just one side of what I'm going to say. If we carry on in this area for much longer or lower, we're going to have a death cross as this green crosses this white. That's going to happen probably in a couple of weeks if we stay in this area. In a couple of weeks we're not going to be in this area. We will either be up or we will be down. We won't be in this area. But if we go down, then the fate of Bitcoin is sealed. There'll be probably another $2,000 drop from the level we're at now. More or less $2,000, maybe $1,500. And one thing that I've noticed which would kind of confirm that is on the weekly chart. So the weekly chart obviously looks bearish, but when you stand back at it and look at it, it's not bearish. But I mean, if you look at it now, it looks bearish, no question. But the thing that concerned me here is the Ichimoku cloud. So we're above the cloud, which is one good thing. With the cloud is red, which isn't a great thing, but we are above it, which is fine. But we have had a fresh cross here on the weekly chart, just freshly crossed this week, which means that there's going to be generally would suggest that there's going to be a continuation down. Doesn't mean it's going to plummet down. It just means that it's going to continue down. So where's it going to continue down? My first expectation for a possible reversal will be the bottom of the cloud, or this purple 50 moving average, which is basically roughly around 6,600. That is where most of my longs will then be placed. I'll be buying back my Bitcoin in the hope that it's going to reverse at that point, because Bitcoin is still technically it's in a bull trend. Technically, it's just a very, very significant reversal at the moment. Huge consolidation, you could call it, but we're still up significantly for the year, over 100%, almost 150% up for the year. So that's pretty good, by anyone's standards. I don't care what you say. That's pretty good. So you'll be buying it back there. I'm not a financial advisor, it's not financial advice, but I'll be buying it back there. I'll probably be entering into some significantly leveraged longs as well at that point. And I could completely be wrong, because being back down there we would have had that death cross, but We'll have to see how steep and how nasty that death cross looks. That death cross might cause us to come down to this level, and then we can bounce and start to reverse. If for whatever reason we start to trickle down from here, then we would actually start to get worried. So that is my sort of reasonably long term, the next month or so's prediction of Bitcoin. A possible reversal at 6,600. And those are the reasons why. We've got an incoming death cross, we've got a fresh cross on the itchy cloud on the weekly, which is, just to show you a bit of context, when we get these crosses, when's the last time we had a cross? So these crosses signify continuation of a move, whether that be up or down. Last time we had that cross was here. This is where we had the cross, just here at the end of April. So everybody, you don't need me to tell you that, by April we knew that things were looking bullish, but the Ichimoku cloud kind of confirmed that to us on the weekly, and what it means is that it would say that there's going to be a continuation of that move, and that's what we got. We got a continuation all the way above the cloud, and peaked at this level here. The last time we had the cross to the down was here. So after the parabolic run, we collapsed big time all the way back down here. So that was over $12,000 already before we got the cross. We started to bounce back up here. So at this level here, it had gone back up again by $3,000. Probably would have fooled a lot of people into thinking that actually that's it. It's reversing. It's going back up again. But no, the itchy cloud told us there's going to be continuation down, and that's what we got. We got a continuation all the way down, eventually down to this level here, basically all the way down to almost 3,200. So it's relatively reliable, and this is how you use the Ichimoku cloud. Just very briefly, you can use it in many ways, but the most reliable way is on a long-term analysis to track a long-term continuation of a move, and that's what it's telling us now. As of this week, it's telling us that there's going to be a continuation of the move down. It doesn't say where it's going to go, how far it's going to go. It just says there's going to be a continuation. So those who are getting bullish on Bitcoin now, good luck to you. And it'd be great because I'd love to see it go bullish again. But for the moment, let's just look at the TA and what the TA is saying. And historically, this TA is generally pretty accurate. There's some bearish moves already. We've got some signals to tell us there's continuation, and we have that possible death cross on the daily incoming within a couple of weeks. So I'm not going to say anything other than that. 2 weeks from now, we will have gone up and down and sideways, round and round. It will have been all over the place, but the itchy cloud will tell us that over the coming months, maybe for the rest of the year, we will be actually probably be trickling down as we did when we saw it the last time. Now I don't think we're going to be as aggressive, and it won't be as much as this, because if you look at Bitcoin on a 4-year cycle theory, which is something that I do hold relevance to, this was the end of the 4-year cycle, so we were going to be going down more significantly. We are in a bull trend, a bull market supposedly, so I wouldn't expect to see us trickle down to these levels again. No, not at all. This is why I expect us to come down to this level and maybe a little lower before we find a reversal and start to go bullish again. So don't get too scared about it. All right, it probably will go bullish again. We probably won't be seeing a $5,000 Bitcoin ever again, but we could be seeing a $6,000 Bitcoin at some point, in the next few months. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. I'll stop rambling. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice evening, and take it easy.